Bring back child labor? Oh my goodness. So there is this clip of this guy talking on Fox News, and it is the epitome of capitalism, or our understanding of how it's executed and implemented in this country of the United States, that form of capitalism. Because this person is clearly detached and devoid of reality. This person has not had a regular job in the regular workforce for quite some time. And it tells by how he speaks about his everyday common man. And there seems to be a certain disdain that many elites or many people in certain financial positions, such as those on Fox News, seem to have for everyone else. They have this very skewed perspective of what they think that every man goes through. Because he talks about how the government, right, when you stop paying people to not work, then they are forced to get jobs.
Paying people not to work. And when you stop paying people not to work, they have to go out and get jobs.
And that statement right there, in and of itself, is, 90% of the GOP. It's 90% of Republicans, conservatives, of how they think. They think that the issue is someone being paid not to work. Let me just break this down to you. If the unemployment check is more than what you are getting when you're working, that is a problem. And it seems that this isn't addressed. He completely just overlooks that problem, where they're trying to make it seem that, hey, you're just living large, sitting on your butt, getting a check for doing nothing. And that's not the case for the majority of American people. When it comes to these unemployment checks, when it comes to any type of safety net or social programs, they are there if they are there to begin with. If they are giving more financial stability than an actual 9-to-5, where people are working their butts off and, barely getting by, that is the problem. Do you understand? That's the problem. His solution to all of this is to get a job. Do you want to know what job he recommends? Picking blueberries.
And the first jobs they go out and get are these wonderful, rewarding jobs like picking blueberries.
What?
Yeah, I kid you not. This man said that that people should pick blueberries, because we're, getting rid of all the illegal immigration, all these illegal migrants who are picking these blueberries, that, hey, Americans should go pick blueberries.
I grew up pulling tobacco. There are wonderful jobs in farming, in construction, all of this that has sort of been handed over to largely illegal aliens allowed into the country to do all this cheap labor.
Now, the obvious flaw of saying Americans should pick blueberries is, well, how much are you going to pay Americans, right? Because we've already established that these people, were barely getting by, and he believes he's under the assumption that they're getting paid to not work. So now that we have all these blueberry jobs, okay, well, now we're going to pay them. This, of course, leads, well, I don't mind paying a little more as long as it's Americans who are, getting the jobs.
Maybe you pay a little bit more for blueberries to actually have Americans picking the blueberries.
And this is what they all want you to believe. This is the fundamental flaw when they talk about, capitalism. And let me just be clear, I'm not trying to ding capitalism. I'm just trying to let people understand this is what they mean by when they say capitalism, not the textbook definition. Because you have to understand capitalism has nothing to do with nationality, okay? Capitalism has nothing to do with you being an American citizen. The purpose of capitalism is to turn a profit, is to put something out and to get a profit. It doesn't have to be high quality, right? It doesn't have to benefit America. It's to turn a profit at any and all costs. And we see this is going on, especially in this country, where it's very much, they want to talk about capitalism, but we're now seeing it's not really capitalism. This is more of corporate socialism. That's what this is, where you have certain companies that, if they fall or they go under, well, they are lifted back up. But it's not a problem when the company, when the government does it for the company, but when a person is crippled or burdened by massive debt, whether it's medical debt, which is a leading cause of bankruptcy, to my understanding, then it's, well, you got to lift yourself up by the bootstraps, okay? Stop being lazy. Figure it out. And I just, at some point, I've said this before, I wish that Americans would treat Americans like Israelis, okay? That's what I would ask. I would ask that Trump treats American citizens like he treats Israelis, or like he treats Israel. That's what I would ask. Because any request they have, it's done. I would argue that you treat your own citizens with the same, if you don't want to treat them with greater respect, then treat them with the same respect as you treat Israel. That's all I would say. But that's, as we can see, that's never the case. Now, one thing that doesn't make sense in this scenario is that if the people, okay, who already can afford, the standard basic living, okay, they now go and get jobs, which in return makes everything more expensive than when they couldn't already provide for themselves, then where does that leave those people? That leaves them in slavery.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
That's essentially what they're advocating for, is slavery, okay, is corporate slaves. It's not my words, it's their words. That's the predicament that they place American people. Now, this, of course, is not a good look because no one wants to pay more prices because this whole concept of, oh, well, it's American, I don't mind, but that's bullcrap. That's absolute nonsense, okay? Because what we care is about the dollar. That's the dollar amount. That's it. No, there is no added bonus for us because there's, an American citizen made that. No one cares about that, bro. No one cares about that at all. That's the reason why we got Fruit Loops and we got Ring Loops. Okay, that's the reason why we got Cinnamon Toast Crunch and we got Cinnamon Squares. Because there are people don't care about the name brand. There are people who are like, hey, is that cheaper? Tastes about the same? Cool, let me get that. That's how that works. So this then leads the genius, the high IQ genius who started this conversation to say, well, we need to have, wait for it, you ready? Well, why not give it to children? Why not have children? It's a travesty that we don't have children who can work in these blueberry farms.
But that's wonderful.
Or
also,
maybe
allow children to do it as summer jobs. The idea that your government, that your precious government doesn't allow children to work summer jobs in blueberry fields is just mind-blowing to me.
Well,
That just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Now, let's think about this. Where does this lead us back to? Remember, this is all about capitalism. Just keep you in mind, all about the capitalism. Where does this lead us back to? It leads us back to square one. That's where it leads us back to, which is cheap labor to turn a profit. So what he is looking to do, instead of exploiting migrants, what he wants to do is then exploit American children, is to exploit American youth for cheap labor so they can then turn a profit.
Damn.
So just so we're clear, it has nothing to do with, oh, we need to give Americans jobs, they can work. It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that, okay? That is the trick bag. That is the hustle. That is the propaganda. They want you to feel bad for them failing you. And while they give money to everyone else and help everyone else do everything, they want the American to lift themselves up by the bootstraps. That is the cruel irony of this country in the mindset that a particular group of ignorants have, unfortunately. That's what it goes back to, is child labor for the benefit of the corporation. Now, one thing you also have to take into account is automation. Because if you think that a company is going to lose money, okay, it's going to lose revenue, it's going to lose profit for America, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. As we can see, they will automate. And that automation will become faster and faster and faster. In some cases like Elon, that will absolutely be expedited. Or they'll simply get H-1B workers. They'll get overseas workers. That's what you have to understand. So the concept is never to help American citizens. That is not what it is. The concept is to help the American businesses who don't care about American citizens, which in return doesn't help America. It helps those at the top. Now, it gets to a point where it's like, well, you can only let us starve and drown for so long before it starts to impact you. And that's usually when they start to, lower interest rates. That's when they start to, massage the economy a little bit. They're like, oh, okay, we can't screw you over too much. But that's what it boils down to. And once, AI starts to take off, best believe, as I said before, there's going to have to be some type of UBI because your job is going to be donezo. All right. If you have a little AI Tesla bot that's doing all this, bro, that's going to impact your job no matter what sector you are in. Okay, whether it's healthcare, whether it's, trucking, regardless, whether it's the arts is being impacted first because that's the easiest to dive into with AI generated learning, but it's going to hit you eventually. So I just want people to be aware of where their headspace is. It's not, help Americans. Oh, we got to get, build back better or anything like that. No, it's to help their wallets. That's what that has to deal with. And that is at, the cost, either the detriment to America or not. They don't care. Anyways, guys, that's a video. Let me know what you guys think, whether or not you believe Lucas. He's right, though. He's right. We need to bring back child labor. Let the kids pick the blueberries. Or if you have belief, how about this? How about, as I said before, you treat us with the same respect, the same modicum of decency that you treat Israel Netanyahu. That's all we need. That's all we need. Okay? Just do that. Otherwise, if you happen to disagree, you know where to find me Thursday through Saturday, disagreement day. You can call in, we duke it out. Otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment. Let me know what you guys think about this and subscribe. And that fun stuff. Till next time, guys, be amazing.
Rewarding jobs like picking blueberries.